You're entering championship round. This is 5-Round MMA. I'm Guillermo Cita alongside Alex Ramirez and Albert Cita. Today's top headlines, we have Big Ben suspended. We have Jim Miller back in action. But we begin with Alexander Gustafsson going back home. Alexander Gustafsson is leaving Alliance MMA in San Diego and will now train full-time in his native Sweden. Gustafsson cited the travel and time away from his family, the sole reason for leaving. Rumors of a bout with Phil Davis might be the real reason why he's leaving San Diego. Your thoughts?
Well, I got the inside scoop. I'll tell you that right now.
Okay. I know Guillermo pointed that last time about.
Look,
Well, I mentioned
right?
it and you guys thought I was crazy.
Well, because they said they weren't going to fight. That's why.
he needed a good wrestling coach. He got his wrestling done. What else does he need from America? You know,
He's done it right.
That's
he just
true.
used Alliance MMA and Phil Davis.
Matter of fact, but I'm glad he's going back
Did
to
he
Sweden.
also unlike him on Facebook, unfollowed him on Instagram, all that stuff? They're not friends anymore.
We
or
need to
what?
investigate and
I
find
think
out.
the competition to get that belt is there. So instead of being in bad terms with Alliance MMA, hey, I'm fighting my teammate, you know, the guy that helps me out the most.
Well, nothing's announced yet,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah,
a
yeah.
strong rumor.
But
going around.
it makes the most sense.
It just makes me
Yeah.
love Alexander Gustafsson even more.
Yeah.
The Viking just keeps getting up in that toe and pull for me. First of all, I love Sweden. I mean, I wish we could be Sweden. I'm not a socialist.
You love
but,
Swedish chocolate?
But I like Swedish chocolate.
Hey, I heard Sweden's trying to
like-
pass a law. Every person in Sweden gets $2,500, I think, a month.
Really? For what? Just for being Sweden?
Yeah, just,
I think I'm going to call Alexander up, see if I can catch a flight with him.
Yeah, really.
Sweden sounds beautiful right now.
So let's move on to the next latest headline. It's Big Ben suspended. So Ben Rothwell is
Wow.
suspended for a failed drug
Can
test.
he still-
Brandon Vera is back-to-back. He cannot fight a
clean
fighter.
fighter.
A clean fighter.
I'm more shocked that Big Ben
Needs
anything.
Yeah, I
I
think,
mean,
he
I
failed
thought his training method was with like Roy Nelson. He gets a nice cheeseburger in the morning, and then
Just lifts boulders
and then
all
he
day.
go and hits the gym. He hits the punching bag, couple boulders, and there you go.
He,
I don't
was-
think he needed to
Yeah,
beat
why
for
do
Brandon
he
Vera
tested
when he's so
positive
much
for,
bigger than him.
for elevated testosterone. So
Are you sure it wasn't natural?
I don't know.
I mean, that guy's a big guy.
That's true.
Hey, but see, I don't understand why he does that. I mean, he has heavy hands. You don't
Yeah.
need. What do you need to do?
I mean, do you
Really?
think maybe it could be like a mental thing? Maybe he hasn't really gotten off to a good
Yeah, well, that's
start in
true,
his
yeah.
UFC career. Maybe
But then
he's just
again,
trying to,
he was moving very good.
yeah.
I'll give him that.
He was dancing towards the
Yeah.
end.
Yeah, he was. So
The
it makes
testosterone
it makes
makes
a little
it
bit more sense
yeah.
now.
I think they need to start checking on the dancers, see if they're using.
So you think
'cause-
Brandon Vera got another lucky break there?
Yeah, I think this is better
It
news for
keeps
Brandon
him-
Vera
yeah.
and worse than for Big Ben because he was on the
the
way
bubble
up
already,
again.
yeah.
And
I don't remember the last time Brandon Vera won a fight.
Neither do I. I think
So-
did he beat like Frank Mir or like Tim Sylvia back in the day? Or something
Yeah,
like that? I
and
don't know.
there was so much hype around him. Now
Guillermo is a Brandon Vera
I
fan.
used
that
to
what
be.
it
I used to be his little dance after, but
Wow.
not anymore.
Wow.
Another Alliance member too.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the last headline. It's Jim Miller back in action. Lightweight Jim Miller will return to the octagon for UFC 168 in December. Miller will meet Fabricio Camus.
It's kind of bittersweet. I was probably one of the biggest Jim Miller fans there was.
Yeah.
I mean, this beard became because of Jim Miller. But it's just bittersweet because like I want to get excited, but then it's kind of like I don't know. Jim Miller's not really in the radar anymore.
Well, to
Well,
me-
I think he's a all around a perennial contender. I mean, I think he's always a couple fights away from.
But he
being
never
talked
gets
about.
over that hump.
Yeah,
But he-
that's what I was gonna say. He has so much hype. He's
Yeah,
doing good.
he's a good
and then
fighter,
once
but
that fight
he
comes,
just can't win those big fights.
He's a tough fight for anybody. I
That's-
think.
but
He's
yeah,
a dangerous
but
fight for
that's what I'm
anybody.
saying. That's
it
what I'm
sounds like
saying.
Kenny Florian a
That's
little
what
bit.
I'm like. It's kind of
Yeah.
it's kind of bittersweet because it's like the guy's good. You want to cheer for him, but then at the same time, it's like
Yeah, I wonder if they're almost giving Miller a gimme here because Fabricio's coming off a loss to Melvin
Oh, yeah.
Collard. So,
Yeah.
and
Well, they're
he's-
both coming off losses.
Yeah, but it's kind of like
yeah, but Jim Miller hasn't cut a break since like 2008. I mean, that
Yeah.
guy has been fighting the best of the best over
That's
and
true.
over and over.
Hey,
and
we'll
finally,
give you some get back
yeah.
on track.
So that's it for latest news today. We have a great show for everybody.
We're gonna talk about Shields versus Maia. I know
Yeah,
Albert's,
we have a preview. A big fan of Jake Shields.
you know,
What?
you got a lot to say about Jake Shields.
I don't
coming
like
up,
Jake
so.
Shields so much that I don't even watch the Shields on ABC.
The Agents of Shield.
Yeah, just because it has a name in it.
Name Shield.
And stay tuned. So
All right, stick around, guys.
please visit 5roundmma.com on our social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. 5roundmma.com. Drink fearless, fight fearless. In this corner, brought to you by Honey Badger, we have Bellator lightweight Dave Caveman Rickels.
Hey, Dave's Alex Ramirez. I want to thank you for taking the time to speak with us, man. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, man, not a problem. I'm happy to, man. You guys caught me on a good day. I'm feeling pretty good.
That's great. I want to ask you, get this right. I looking up your last fights, and I'm pretty sure I read this right, but I know you'll know it better than anybody. This is going to be your 5th fight this year, coming up on October 11th. That's right, correct?
Yeah, man. It's crazy, man. I've kept the ball rolling. I stepped up, took the Chandler fight on short notice. Didn't go my way, man. But, crazy convenience right after that fight. Bellator's like, hey, we didn't even, think about this, but we're coming to your hometown.
Wow.
And I'm like, you got to get me on the card. I grew up 15 minutes from where the venue's going to be at, and I can't wait to set it off, man.
Wow, so you get a lot of ticket requests from people you haven't talked to since high school? How's that going, man?
Oh, it's been ridiculous, man. It's crazy. I've literally hand to hand sold over 300 tickets, man.
Wow.
And driving around doing all that, man, is kind of annoying, but it's something I'm happy to do because that crowd's gonna be crazy.
That's great.
And hey, David, this is Albert. Bellator, well, obviously they keep you real busy. What do you like to do to relax in between fights?
Drink lots of whiskey.
There you go, right?
No, man, like I really just try to enjoy my time. I eat like a mofo, man. Like I go to buffets and enjoy myself. I've ballooned up pretty high before, and I try not to do that as much anymore. But I like to cook, man. So as weird as that is, I cook a lot and drink and have fun, man. That's pretty much it.
Do you have any signature caveman dishes you like to dish out?
Man, pork chops. I'm telling you. Bone in. There
you go. I know you say we like to do it between fights, but like you've been so busy. Do you like being active and always staying in the gym? Because obviously 5 fights in 1 year is a lot. But do you find like you're in the gym more now, and like do you find like almost like a better work ethic now because of Bellator keeps you so busy?
I like staying busy, man, because they say the devil is gets you when you're idle, and that's certainly my case, man. Like if I had too much free time, man, it wouldn't be good for me.
Yeah.
It helps me stay on weight. It helps me, all around, man. I'm always in the gym and I'm always getting better. So that's another perk too.
And then going back to Bellator and your fights, your opponent is JJ Ambrose, and he has 11 submission victories. Do you expect him to take you to the ground, or do you think he'll actually dare and stand up with you?
Yeah, the fight's gonna end up on the ground, man. That's what he's gonna want to do. He's been working on his kickboxing and stuff, and that's good, man. More power to you and stuff. I've been kickboxing a long while, and I'm happy to do that too. But I'm also, pretty nifty with my jiu-jitsu as well. So I'm not gonna look. I don't like to make things a grappling match. I'd rather just bash your head in. So the fight's gonna be interesting. I think it'll start standing like it does every first 10 seconds, and then I think he's gonna end up wanting to take me down.
Yeah, I know. You do have 6 submission victories, but you spend the last few fights developing your stand-up game. How proud of you of your progression in the stand-up game, adding that tool to your arsenal?
I was really proud until that last fight. But no, I actually, going into that fight, man, I felt sharp. I felt real good, and I just got caught on the button, man, and got caught early. So, I'm really looking kind of almost in redemption mode. I'm wanting to show these people what I'm really capable of.
Yeah, I know. Obviously, losing to Michael Chandler is not really a bad thing because he's guy's on a roll right now. But so you do see this fight as kind of redemption mode that people didn't get to see the Caveman Rickels at your best that night?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I believe I was at my best going into the fight, man. They didn't see what I was truly capable of, and how my training had been going. If you wrapped all that up and, gave it to somebody, they'd be like, oh, damn, this dude worked his ass off. He could have made that an awesome fight, but didn't go that way. I'm just moving on to the next one, man. The way I fight is pretty straightforward in the sense that I'm either getting carried out on my shield or I'm, in victory knocking you out.
Yeah. I know your fight coming up on October 11th isn't in the tournament. How quick do you want to get back? Do you want to get back into the next lightweight tournament?
Yeah, I do want to get back in the tournament, man. I'd really, in my head, I believe I'm a top 10 fighter in the world.
Yeah.
And I just got to prove that to people and, get the world to agree, get everyone hyped behind me. So I'm looking to set an example on this next fight. And, I feel really good going into it. So I hope I can do that.
That's great stuff, man. We'll let you go, Dave. I want to thank you for taking the time to speak with us. You're fighting October 11th in the Kansas Star Casino. Sorry.
There you go. Hey, that's right. Kansas, man. Kansas, my home.
You'll be see the fight live on Spike TV. David, wish you best of luck. We're rooting for you here. Big fans of yours. And before I let you go, you want to give a shout out to anybody?
Man, I'd just like to, my great sponsors, which are on it. And, there's a Get Some that did my T-shirts. And, actually, that's pretty much it.
All right, Dave. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it.
Cool, guys. Thanks.
Best of luck, man.
All right, thank you.
Please visit FiveRoundMMA.com on our social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. FiveRoundMMA.com. So UFC returns. We have a big card. I know you guys are really anticipating this one, especially the Jake Shields fans over here.
We'll not stop talking about it.
Yeah, I know. UFC Fight Night. It's Shields versus Maia, and we're going to do a preview. We don't really want to talk about the undercard.
Yeah. Let's just say this. It's an action-packed main card.
Yeah, main card.
For once, I don't want to talk about the undercard.
Well, it's another card in Brazil, so
yeah. I don't want to say anything.
A lot of Brazilians.
So the first, there's a couple notable bouts you guys want to mention, but let's begin with TJ Dillashaw versus Rafael Asuna.
And there's, I think, one big reason why we're going to mention this.
What?
I mean, the alpha males are on that tear. Where are they? Like 50-0, 100-0. I lost count.
So let's see if Dillashaw
can, let's see if Dillashaw
keep
continues
the ball rolling.
And because he's been,
he's doing good too.
He's super good. I mean, he got TKOs in his last wins. He was a finalist for the Ultimate Fighter. Everybody remembers that.
His only loss in the UFC was the finale against John Dodson.
Yeah,
so.
and I mean, after the loss. I mean, he went on a tear. But he's also facing a very talented Brazilian, though. Let's not forget that. He's on his own little tear by submissions, ironically.
Yeah, Rafael.
And his last loss was against Eric Coach, and I'm a big Eric Coach fan, so I can't hate on that.
Yeah, I mean, let's move on to the next fight. I know you guys don't want to talk about Mike Pierce or Fabio Maldonado.
Yeah, we're gonna veto those.
So,
well, it wasn't a majority vote, but we'll just veto. Let's just say we're on a time constraint. We have to choose our bouts wisely here.
So the next fight you guys want to talk about is the return of Matt Hamill versus Thiago Silva.
Yeah, I don't know if we can say it was a long-awaited return, but nonetheless, he's returning.
Well, it wasn't really. Last fight was last year, a year ago, September 2012.
Yeah, and he was supposed to be retired.
Yeah.
So I guess, there's a scratch or an itch. He wants to come back, so now he's facing Thiago Silva.
Yeah, the very rough Thiago Silva, because he hasn't been able to kind of, after his whole suspension and whatever, he hasn't really been able to put his feet on the ground and stay in the UFC consistently, because he's either getting failed drug tests or opponents drop out or whatever. But
2 of his last 4 bouts have been overturned because he's failed post-fight drug tests. So how do you even get on a roll there? I mean, he's
exactly.
coming
I'm surprised he's still in the UFC. To be honest,
this is actually one of the better matchups I've seen in a while, because they match up perfectly. You got a guy that's coming off a year, a guy that's kind of unstable. And it's almost like perfect matchup. It's because both guys are technically rusty. Even though Silva's already fought more recently than Hamill, I mean, he's still kind of rough around the feathers. And
yeah, I think
it's a good rough match.
Yeah.
It's a rusty.
The other question
is
Thiago Silva going to be clean?
Yeah, really. You think he learned a lesson by now? I mean, he should.
Yeah, either he got a better doctor or he learned his lesson.
I mean, like the last notable bout he ever had was against Machida when they were both undefeated.
Yeah,
and obviously the winner of that bout, Machida, went to face Rashad Evans.
I think we're avoiding the big question here. Will Bigfoot make a presence and call him out again?
Yeah, really.
Yeah, Bigfoot hates Thiago Silva.
Yeah, what's the beef there?
Wow.
I think he took his beef jerky or something while he was napping.
It was messing with Sasquatch. What he did.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the an excited. I know
Okay,
Albert's
is this
really
one?
excited.
Oh man.
Alright.
It's your boy Eric Silva versus the stun gun
Alright.
Dong
Alright,
Young
so,
Kim.
I'll let
I'm
you
gonna-
guys go
no,
first
no,
because
no,
I could do a whole show on
Yeah.
Eric Silva.
You might not hear my voice for a while because Albert's been talking about Eric Silva for years now. And
Since
then
the
Guillermo
moment he
also wrote
touched
an article on
Octagon.
Eric Silva, so I'm gonna let you guys talk, and I'll just hang out here in the
I'm not
background.
too sure on this one. I'm not on the Eric Silva. I still need to see more, even though I'm really high on him. Dong Young
What does he have
Kim,
to do? Kill a guy?
practically. But
No,
let me
he
start off.
already did.
Let me start it off so he can continue it on.
All right.
Okay, because
This is the thing Dong Young Kim has to do.
stun gun.
The stun gun. All he has to do is his judo flips or judo tosses, overpower Eric Silva, keep him on the ground, and I bet you he can lay and pray and beat Eric Silva. That's what could potentially happen.
Look,
because he's
almost
bigger
like the John
and
Strong
stronger. in my
syndrome.
I'll
opinion.
give you one thing. Fitch was able to neutralize him sometimes, but if you look back in that fight, Fitch, who's probably the best wrestler in that weight class, had trouble
Was the
keeping
best
was
wrestler
yeah
in that class.
had troubles keeping Eric Silva down and staying him down. And I don't think Dong Young Kim might get a nice little judo throw in there, but Eric Silva's gonna just come back like a wild man, stand up. Matter of fact, I don't even think he's gonna get that far because I don't think as soon as he touches him, it's gonna be the last thing he does to Eric Silva. And because I'm gonna tell you right now, because stun gun right now isn't stunning anyone.
The thing
All he's doing is just grinding out decisions. So Eric Silva, I think, is going to explode on him and bust a Carlos Conde on him.
I think if Dong Young, the space gets closed in, Dong Young Kim, his judo tosses will be effective.
I really don't see this going past the first round. I think Eric Silva knows that he has to keep making statements, especially because he did get that loss against John Fitch, which I thought was ridiculous. I didn't see it that way, even though it's unanimous. I didn't see it that way at all.
I saw
And
it
then
that
there's
way.
also that controversial loss
but
that he had.
He's
back of
bounced
the
back
head.
from that
But
John Finch.
but I think he still needs to
fight,
keep
so-
stamping these big statements to stay relevant and stay in the top tier of this weight class.
Wait, I don't think is he ranked yet? Not in the UFC,
No,
right?
see, that's what I'm saying.
So, like,
he has to keep standing in
to
this,
get ranked in
So
the top
I
10.
don't think there's no need to be any hesitation. I think he's going to go in there knowing that the stun gun can get stunned. He's going to go in there aggressive.
I
and-
think
and
Eric
take him
Silva
out.
will win the fight. I want to see him win the fight.
He will
but
win the fight.
Dong Young Kim does pose a threat to
Well,
Eric
like
Silva.
your point, he has a grinder. I mean, I think he has like 17 wins, 10 of them are decisions for the stun gun. So if he gets his way, and if he's able to control the pace of the bout, I think it's gonna be a long night
Yeah,
for Eric
but
Silva.
I think history has shown that the explosive Eric Silva will
Well, even
go running out of the gates and do it quick. I tell you, stun gun has a questionable chin. Let's just
Well, question got knocked. He gets
yeah,
knocked
he
out.
got knocked out. yeah.
So I think Eric Silva, it's to his advantage to do his aggressive style and really get in there.
Well, I just think the advantage is I think Dong Young Kim is the bigger, heavier guy, so I think that will play in part. to
Eric
this.
Silva's no slouch of himself. I mean, the guy's 5'11", built with muscle.
5'11" is not that tall, dude. And,
I don't know. I don't think you
Taller
know.
than Albert.
I don't think you know who you're talking to. 'Cause
and
5'11" 's
I
a
personally can see
giant.
Eric Silva dropping down weight class.
Go to
Well,
155.
Yeah, to go
I think
155.
he
Yeah, I think
possibly
he has the body
Yeah.
structure to drop down.
So
So
he's
I
doing
mean,
so
that,
good right now.
Yeah, I
man.
think he's doing well enough at 170 right now. Where like I think other than John Finch, this is gonna be his biggest test. I think in that division.
exactly.
So I think if he's able to get past these veteran 170 pounders, get the top contender guys, then he should see. I mean, he's rightfully to stay there. But if he's having trouble with them, then a drop down will be probably in his future.
Yeah.
But the guy's super talented.
I
I
still
mean, he's
see
on
an
his way.
explosive win here.
Still a young guy.
Well, yeah,
so,
I still have Eric Silva winning. I
not
just
young,
wanted
he's older. But.
to
okay.
make my point
You're the
that.
devil's advocate.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
So let's move on to the main
we
event.
don't want to turn off our Korean fans out there.
Yeah. So let's move on to the main event. You're not a big Jake Shields fan, but you're a big Damian Maia fan. But
Oh,
it's Damian
yeah.
Maia versus Jake Shields.
Best thing Damian could have done was drop weight, and he should have dropped it when he had the chance. Because
Well, he did. Drop had the chance.
Yes,
yeah.
because the kid is on a tear. I mean, this guy is a beast at 170. I mean, a straight up beast. I mean, John Fitch. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if people can comprehend that because like that blew my mind that someone Fitched.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 3-0 and welterweight, 3 impressive victories. He's not-
One
he's-
against the stun gun.
Yeah, so he's looked good in all of his bouts at 170. So.
And they've all been against high caliber people or named people,
Yeah.
I should say. So I mean, he has to keep. I mean, I think with the big win against Jake Shields, he could be next in line, and he probably pass up a lot of people.
Yeah, I think
true.
Dana White had said something like, "Oh, this bout is pretty much they'll be highly considered for a welterweight title shot, or at least up there in the top 2
Yeah,
or
because
3.
it's kind of hard to not deny especially because he matches up so well with GSP.
Yeah.
I mean, GSP takes him down. Oh, you messed up, son.
Or Johnny Hendricks, though. Come on.
Oh yeah, sorry. Or Johnny Hendricks. But Jake Shields surprisingly is on a winning streak. I mean,
one fight, one streak.
I wasn't really impressed over
technically
the
two.
Tyrone
He
Woodley
beat-
fight.
He beat Akiyama, Sexyama, and he beat.
But were you impressed?
Your
with
boy
I mean,
Sexy-
no,
Sexyama.
of course. I'm never impressed when he goes in the octagon anyway. So win or loss, I'm not impressed.
in the record books, it's still a winner, right?
Yeah,
But
Yeah,
I think
even though I thought Tyrone Woodley beat him though.
I thought so too. I thought that fight was really boring on both parts.
Yeah, Tyrone Woodley got really gassed down in that one. I think that
Well,
that had more to do than anything. I think Tyrone Woodley beat himself, not Jake Shields beat him, and that says a lot.
Well, it's kind of Jake Shields' style. He'll grind you out and make you
Yeah.
tired. I mean, you want to
Exactly.
You're trying to fight, and then you get to, 170-pound guy just laying on top of you.
Exactly.
taking
You know what's
so-
gonna be pretty funny? Damian Maia's stand up has gotten a lot better, but it's gonna be funny to see these two stand up because they're very, very not structurally good at standing up yet.
Yeah.
So you think the submission will play in part into this fight
Oh, I think that's gonna be the key factor. I mean, Jake Shields can only win a fight if he's
on the
on
ground?
the ground grinding you. And if he doesn't do that, then there's no way he's gonna win. And if he does do that, I mean, I think he's gonna get choked out.
You think so?
Yeah, but let's not forget, Damian Maia has a lot of power in those hands too. I mean,
Yeah.
he throws them pretty, like not control. He doesn't set up his punches, but I mean, Jake Shields isn't the stand-up artist either, so he's either going to get caught standing up or he's going to get choked down the ground. So I really see a bad position for Jake Shields.
Since Maia's lost to Nate Marquardt back in 2009, he has been evolving his stand-up game.
Yeah.
So you want
Yeah.
to say he's
And,
come along further.
and he has
yeah.
power.
Yeah.
Jake Shields hasn't shown he has power standing up.
Who has he knocked out?
Damian Maia has
No,
knocked out,
Jake
but
Shield.
Jake Shields, nobody.
Nobody?
What are you knocked out?
No,
Look
I'm,
at us.
I'm asking the
Stat
question to
boy,
you.
what?
Good, stat boy, somebody get on there. I don't know
Yeah,
who's
because
knocked
I don't even think he knocked out his pillow. But Damian Maia has rocked a lot of people, So we know there's power in those hands.
Looking up Jake Shields' last TKO victory was in 2007.
Oh, the guy got tired or when
This
like
is
fell over?
TKO elbows and punches and elbows.
I don't believe it.
So it's a fixed it or what?
So that's the review. You guys want to get into your picks?
Yeah, let's do the
ones
picks real quick.
The ones we talked about. All right.
Yeah. It's Rafael versus TJ Dillashaw.
Well, of course, I got the Alpha Males, Dillashaw.
It's a submission guy, a submission specialist, and Rafael against TJ Dillashaw, who's a knockout power. So I think I'm gonna get Dillashaw.
I got TJ Dillashaw as well. Let's move on to Mike Pierce versus Rosimar Palaharis.
We didn't talk about this bout, but I think the mini Arnold Schwarzenegger Palaharis has it.
Yeah. I go Mike Pierce. He's willing to make a statement now. I think people are underrating him. So
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
he's been
going-
underrated his whole career.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
gonna
so-
go Mike Pierce. I think he's a little underrated. I think he shows up to Brazil. So let's go to the light heavyweight bout. It's Fabio Maldonado versus Joey Beltran.
Of course, I got my Bato Loco Joey Beltran.
Why didn't you want to talk about that fight?
Huh? Just
Bato
because
Loco.
it's not relevant.
well, I think
I mean, if honestly, I
Fabio Maldonado almost beat Glover Teixeira.
that's why he
Oh
didn't want to
my
bring it because that
gosh.
would have been brought up on the conversation.
He's
He
such
didn't
a
want
Glover
to.
Teixeira
He didn't
fan.
want to defend Glover
Oh,
Teixeira
Good
again.
friend of Albertito.
Good friend of FiveRoundMMA. All right, close friend.
But who do you have? Fabio Maldonado versus? Oh, you can
Oh,
go
you're
Joey
serious?
Beltran.
I got Joey Beltran.
I was serious, man. What you talking about?
Maldonado's struggling right now.
I think
so.
Fabio Maldonado wins this fight. The crowd will be behind him. His boxing is gonna play a key part into this.
yeah, well, both these guys, though.
I mean, I know we didn't talk about it, but yeah, Joey Beltran's.
I think Joey Beltran's gonna stand and bang with
That's
him.
what I was gonna say. His biggest strength is also his biggest weakness. The guy doesn't like to let down. And you're
Yeah.
fighting against a boxer that with heavy hands. And
Exactly.
He's gonna want to stand up, and that's. I don't know if that's the best thing, but I'm still going for Joey.
Okay, well I got Fabio. Next fight, it's a light heavyweight bout. It's Matt Hamill versus Thiago Silva.
I got Thiago Silva winning and then busting out the beef jerky that he stole from Bigfoot and saying, "Come get it, son."
I'm messing with Sasquatch
yeah.
this time.
I got Thiago Silva. Hopefully he's clean after, so you can move up to
so
fight Bigfoot.
so it can be official win.
An
finally.
official win. I'm gonna go with Silva just because I don't know. He's been more active, I guess. Even though his fights have been overturned, just because I don't know.
Matt Hamill's we don't know how rusty Matt Hamill might
Well,
come
like you
in.
said,
Yeah.
Thiago Silva was up there in a top contender.
But I will one time. I'm not flip flopping my pick, but I will say one thing: if Matt Hamill takes to the ground, it's over.
Yeah.
I don't see there is no way Thiago Silva's getting up, and there's no way he's submitting Matt Hamill.
Well, I think we all underestimate the fact that Matt Hamill is the only man to have a victory over John Jones.
That's true.
So that could be a big factor as well.
he didn't
Hey,
beat John
no,
Jones.
The
that was
record books say
it was all
he
mental.
owns a victory
I
over
think
John
it was all a
Jones.
strategy by Matt Hamill to take those illegal hits. Everybody knows that, man.
So let's move on to the welterweight fight. It's the co-main event. It's Eric Silva versus Dong Yong Kim Stun Gun.
So do you really want me to say who I'm picking?
We know Eric Silva.
Eric Silva too.
I have Eric Silva as well.
Woohoo.
Explosiveness against a guy who grinds out victories. I think explosive.
You think another article's coming?
Yeah.
Explosive versus
The
grind.
rise of Eric Silva.
So let's move on to the main event. Damian Maia versus Jake Shields.
Do you want me to pick again? Or?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Just
Of
say
course
it.
I got Damian Maia. Come on, man. He's going to choke him out or knock him out. It's going to be either way. I really hope he puts him to sleep, to tell you the truth.
I've always been a big Damian Maia fan, so I'm gonna go with him there. I think because, like you say, Jake Shields hesitated to the ground, and that's Damian Maia's strong point. I mean, if he was able to outclass John Finch on the ground, who is, I think we all agree that John Finch is a better wrestler than Jake Shields, right? Like we do with John Finch. So
That's
no
true.
reason to say he can't do that to Jake Shields.
Well, I'm gonna go Jake Shields.
Wow.
That's not a surprise, really.
Is Jason on the phone?
Surprised.
Have we talked to Jason?
No, this is why Jake Shields is gonna win because you guys actually overhyped Damian Maia. Yeah, he beat John Finch at his own game, but Jake Shields is also a world-class caliber wrestler.
Dude,
let me see, let's
he
see
did a good job
Damian-
against
let's see
Chris
Damian Maia
Weidman.
do it again.
He did a good job against Chris Weidman, who is a way better, stronger wrestler than Jake Shields. Come on now.
Let's see
If
Damian
Chris
Maia do it again.
Weidman couldn't do it to him, what makes you think Jake Shields will?
Well, I think Jake Shields might want to prove a point because he does American Jiu-Jitsu as opposed
Exactly.
to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh, okay.
So he might want to take it to the ground and show him that American Jiu-Jitsu
I
is
think,
gonna,
like you guys said, Jake Shields is a grinder. He's gonna grind this out. He's gonna get the points. You guys are gonna be controversy, but Jake Shields gonna grind it out, lay and pray, control the ring, and win the fight.
Who was that impression of me or Albert? The controversy.
And this guy.
Okay.
I love
Just want to make sure.
There's never no controversy with Alex.
The whole everything's a controversy right now. This podcast is controversial.
He's calling
right now.
shenanigans in this episode. This episode never happened.
So I take Jake Shields, and that's our pick, and that's our show.
Yeah, great show. I got a fight night this Wednesday, October 9th on Fox Sports 1. Another big block of UFC on Fox Sports 1. It's like the only program they have now, right?
Yeah, I love it being on
yeah.
Wednesdays.
And
I'm
after
not gonna
this-
lie, I like Wednesday nights.
Yeah, stick around and watch Ultimate Fighter afterwards, right? You guys watching
Yeah,
that?
it doesn't conflict with football. It doesn't conflict with any other sport.
No. So until then, make sure to follow us on Twitter at FiveRound. Oh, next week too. I forgot. Next week we're going to preview UFC 166, Velasquez versus Dos Santos. I know Guillermo's gonna. He's been shaking out the bits.
You know,
of the
I'm kind
previous
of
one.
worried because my wife is pregnant, and she's been already talking about possibly Saturday being the day, like just to jinx me.
Oh, man.
Wow.
So yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell you guys right now. I start my ritual usually a week ahead, and all I do is eat beans and rice leading up to a Cain Velasquez fight. Makes me feel more in touch with them.
I'm already on prime time. I'm recording it. I'm
I've
watching
always
it
said
3 times a day.
I see myself in Cain Velasquez. You take no, wait.
Minus the height.
Take
the
away
athleticism.
the athleticism, the achievements, the
skill.
the brute strength, the skills,
ethic.
the work ethics. I see myself right in them.
I look in his eyes and I see a little
He
Albert
represents
inside
you.
of him.
He represents me as well.
So that's next week, which should be fun as we preview that card. Like I said, until then, follow us on Twitter at FiveRoundMMA. Subscribe to us on iTunes and YouTube. Like us on Facebook, Instagram. Follow us on Instagram. Like our photos. Follow us. All that good stuff. And be sure to check out FiveRoundMMA.com for weekly articles, which are now going to be posted on OvertimeDanSoden.com, our sports
Yeah,
affiliate.
awesome site. If you want to know anything else about other sports,
It's a great connection for
if you're just
independent
a
sports
sport,
writers.
just
so.
a sports fan in general, check it out.
Yep. So we're doing that and all that good stuff. I want to thank our sponsors, Honey Badger Performance Energy Drink. Go grab a scoop and get the most out of your workout at drinkhoney.com. I want to thank the Madhouse clothing line, clothes for the fighter and fight fanatic. Go shop themadhouse.com and follow them on Twitter at the Madhouse MMA. Also want to give a big thank you to MMA Victor, Fantasy MMA. I mean, yeah, fantasy football's fun and all, but might as well get your fantasy MMA picks on at FiveRoundMMA-10 and follow them on Twitter at MMA Victor. And a big thank you to top-rated MMA makers of 100% American-made MMA apparel. Go shop their great stuff at topratedmma.com and follow them on Twitter at topratedmma. Albert, got some final words?
Just want to thank everybody for listening. Our executive producer Guillermo Cita, our technician Ollie the Trolley, our sound engineer Steven Rosal with Rosal Records. You got any sound needs? You got the Grammys coming up. You want to do a couple recording? Give them a call. Thanks everybody for listening.
Cream of the crop.